Hey everybody, I'm Jason and welcome back to From Tree to Lumber. So we had a really nice day earlier this week and I went out and claimed 3 logs for potential rafters on the old sawmill shed. They were all white oaks right on the edge of a swamp, and while they weren't standing dead, they certainly weren't very far off. While collecting my tools at the end of the trip, I couldn't find my tree wedge, which must have gotten buried somewhere in the snow. I didn't really look too hard, knowing that the weather app was predicting a melt, so today I took a short walk out to find it, and, well, I kind of got distracted. What you're about to see is the walk that I took into a portion of the property that I really don't visit very often. The ground was frozen and it was easy to get around, no snow, so I turned my short walk into what I call a shopping trip. And that is just where I wander around looking for potential firewood or logs to turn into lumber. I really never set out to make this into a video, but it kind of dawned on me that maybe some of you might like to see my selection process in action. You know, sawing lumber is not just about a sawmill, it's also about choosing the logs, and ultimately it's about managing your land. Hopefully you're going to find it interesting. Let's get to it. All right, so check this out. This is white oak, and it's done. It's dead. See, the branches are all starting to fall off up there. It's getting that kind of old man willow, only I'm an oak, dead look. And look how straight it is for, I don't know, 20 feet. And it's, it's probably 24 inches around. Oh, what's that? Oh, look at that. Frozen into the ground. That's some kind of power line thing, because the power lines run right through. There's an abandoned one right here, so it's one of those things. But anyway, look at that tree. That's prime for the taking. Okay, and check this one out. This is I think it's an oak. Well, it's an oak. I'm sure it's an oak. I don't know if it's white or red, but my guess is white. It's been probably uprooted just this winter or this summer. Lots of wind, but look like that straight portion right there, you know, that's like 8-10 feet. I can easily get a 6x6 out of that for construction. The problem with this wood is it's got deep checks in it. Okay, so like you're not going to get nice boards from it, but my goodness, is it hard and strong and dry. So that's handy, and all of this stuff is amazing firewood. Just amazing. Burns beautiful. Okay, here's another common situation. So this is a really nice healthy tree. No issues with that. But it starts off with this kind of, I don't know, whatever this is, child, brother. But 9 times out of 10, those things go exactly like this. They get that big, maybe a bit bigger, and they die. So if you're lucky if it's a red oak or something, they can be actually a good size. And because they're still standing, they're actually nice and dry. So you can get lumber out of them. I've got a few pieces that way. But otherwise, that's amazing firewood. Okay, here's something that I also want you to see. This white oak right here. That is, I don't know, 18 inches in diameter. But that, my friends, right there is what a healthy oak tree looks like. Lots and lots of stuff going on. There's the odd dead branch, but they all have that. That's a nice crown. That's a good strong tree. I would never take that one. Got another little white oak. This one's quite small, like 6 inches around. It's not looking very good. You know, it's been crowded out. It's starting to die up. The 3 branches up there, 2 of them are dead. One of them's only got a couple of little things on it, so that could come out. It's not, I don't know, maybe we can get a 4x4 out of this straight section. Otherwise, it's probably next year's firewood. And speaking of firewood, look, here's another one. Pretty sure that's another oak. Yeah, more firewood. Maybe a straight section down there, but I'll bet you that one's starting to go in a little bit funky. Okay, so right here we have a pretty good sized dead ash tree, and it's got some straightness to it. I can get some wood out of that for sure, as long as it's solid. But I think usually we're at this stage, they're more than likely to be solid. It's when they get a little bit more ragged up top, then you got to worry. But it's been years since I've been out here. Years and years and years. So look at this white oak. Straight, oh yeah. And actually, yeah, it's no, sorry, that one's in better shape than I thought it was. So nope, it's gonna stay. That's not too bad. I saw it from a distance. I thought it was in worse shape. Nope, that's a good tree. It lives. All right, now just around the corner from those two, got this one, and it is kind of healthy, but it's got a lot of dead stuff showing up on it. So I can find a lot of trees before I would take this one, but you know, I'd take that without worrying too much about it. That one's on its way out. There's a big beauty again. This is probably 20-24 inches in diameter. It is in not bad shape. Not bad shape. It's starting to show a little bit of wear. There's some dead branches showing up on it. So I would say it's beginning its decline. Probably in 5 years I'll come back and look at this and, you know, say that's time to go. But that's coming up. That's you know, I wouldn't take it now, but you know, if it comes back, it'd be great. If not, it's lumber. All right, got another ash, another dead ash. Nice, straight, dead ash. Yeah, that's not bad. A little bit of a hook to it, but there's some nice 8-10 foot boards in there, that's for sure. That right there behind it is the hickory. Got lots of hickories, but none that are very big. I haven't taken one yet, but I'd like to this winter, just because I want to see what the wood's like. That's a good candidate right there, actually. It's kind of got a hook up top, but there's some nice straight wood right in there. That's probably 12 to 14 inches in diameter. I'd like it bigger than that. Get some nicer wood. I didn't intend on taking this walk, so I didn't dress for it properly. It's cold out here. My hands are getting cold. But here's something else that's kind of neat. Look at that. That's a red oak. I have a lot of red oaks actually here. Like there's a good number of them. Way more than white oaks. But they don't seem to die as much. But just the same, I could start taking some really nice ones of those. I got so many of them. Well, dead or almost dead. There's a little bit of life left in it, but I wouldn't think. No, look at all the bug holes, or the whatever these are, woodpecker holes. As soon as you start seeing a lot of that, you know the tree's done. So I can harvest that. I will harvest that, no doubt about it. Oh, there's another dead. That might be a dead maple right there. That is that maple? I think so. I cleaned out a lot of dead maples last year. Got a lot of spalted lumber out of them actually. And if not, that'll be good firewood. Right. I got all kinds of this kind of stuff too, right there. I'm just throwing I'm going for a walk and throwing it out there for you. I got a lot of this, like really nice little cool pieces of wood that are just kind of laying around. You dry that up, it'd be really beautiful. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff just laying on the ground here. Not sure what this is. I think that's a red oak right there. Just as I was saying, I don't have many dead red oaks. I'm pretty sure I just found me a dead red oak. That's maybe 10 inches in diameter, so there's some stuff there. I'll claim that, that's for sure. Oh, look at that. Now there's a nice hickory right there. So that's 12, 14 inches in diameter. Pin straight. That's healthy, but boy, I got a lot of hickory trees on the property. That baby is very tempting. Look at this. Look at that. Pin straight. Yeah, put that on the maybe list, although I think I know the answer. Right there, this little guy here. And what do we got here? I'm at the highway now. I'm at the highway end of the property, so this is as far as I'm gonna go. But got ourselves another dead ash tree. Now, not that there's any hard rules about this, but my rule of thumb, and I'm wrong every now and then, is if the tree is still standing upright, probably the bottom 6 feet are garbage. But after that, you could come into some pretty nice wood. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you run into powder and it's standing by, I have no idea how it's standing, but look how rotten it is right here at the bottom. You know, that's why it's fallen. That's a beauty tree. That's, 14, 16 inches in diameter, and they're a little bit of a bulb. You can get some nice short stuff out of it. Lots of firewood. Lots of firewood. It's a beautiful time of year to collect logs because you can get the tractor right in here, right? So yeah, we've got a hydro cut right here. This is just a little funny little wedge on the property that, you know, there's a couple of swamps in it. There's a swamp right there, as a matter of fact. All right, see some cool stuff over here. It really is lovely property. I'm the 8th generation to live on this land. That's pretty cool, eh? There's some art right there. Isn't that beautiful? I know, maybe I'm weird, but I find that beautiful. That's kind of cool. I might claim that. I'm not going to carry it in now. Dry that up and it'd be a good fish knot or something. I don't know what that is. That's different. Huh. Neat. Look at that. The weird stuff you find in a bush. Actually, that tree's pretty much had it. I could take that. What's right beside that ash I was showing you before? Another dead tree right there, firewood. Another one of those. Whatever it is. This one's got leaves though. So, see if I can get a good leaf for a picture. That might do. Yeah, I'm always trying to learn about the bush out here, so when I come across something I don't know what it is, then I try to figure out what it is. If anybody has any idea, let me know. They're all small trees like that, so. So that right there is a cherry, and they seem to get about that big around here, like 8-10 inches. I've got a few of them, and then they die. So that wood will be nice. I'll come out and get it. Even if it's small, it's still beautiful, beautiful wood. I don't know why they get about that size and they die. More hickories, more, lots, all kinds of hickory here. Like 15 trees right here. There's that tree again, same bark. So when I first got into this, I thought, you know, it's gonna be fun. I'll cut up some wood, get some lumber. Somehow or other, I'm turning into a forester, you know, or I'm starting to look at the state of things out here, and you know, what can I do to help it? So right now, obviously, I'm going to concentrate just on the dead wood because there's just so much of it, and keep learning. But eventually, I will start taking some of these trees once I figure this all out. That right there, I think, is it a poplar tree? If anybody knows, let me know. I've got a very, very few of these, and they usually are like this in the kind of clusters. Yeah, if you know, let me know. There's another cherry. You can tell by that kind of square, rough bark. It's got the little lines in it, see? That one's maybe good for a carver. Maybe good for a carver. I don't know. I'll claim it. I don't want it sitting out here rotting. I know it's going to be good for something. There's a field right here. Yeah, there's a lot of deer here, by the way. There's a certain portion of my viewers right now that are saying, oh my God, that's got to be where the deer are. Okay, and it is. More nice hickories. Couple more. I think I've shown you this stuff already. Jump over top of the old oak. There's an old hunting stand. That's one of my mom's cousins used to hunt out here all the time. He got a lot too. But it was on that ash tree, and that ash tree said no. Probably not even good for firewood, but I bring this. What I do in a case like this, I just come out here with a chainsaw, just cut it and test it. If it looks like it's okay, in she goes. It'd be nice if it was. That's a beautiful piece of wood. It's 14 inches in diameter, probably 16 feet long, pin straight. Maybe get some shelving material out of it, you never know. Okay, things are winding down for this part. We're almost out of the bush, and we've got a whole bunch more hickories. Oh, white oaks too. Nice little hickories all over the place here. These guys are healthy. Won't bother them. We got a nice path right here. Interesting. Hooves. Yep. Coming out here to the old field to eat. Okay, I'm gonna go for a walk to that little bush right there, and I'll pick up with you in a minute. This little island of trees here surrounding this swamp is where I'm picking right now. So like there's a dead, not sure what that is. Could be an ash, could be an oak. No bark on it. Anyway, it's dead. It looks kind of ash-like is my guess. In here is your usual collection of dead stuff, just like I showed you. Just gotta find a way in. Yeah, it's just this little island of trees by the field. Another great deer spot. That little guy right there, that's firewood. That's good firewood. I can burn that tomorrow. It's bone dry. Another one there leaning. That's firewood. There's another one standing right there. Little brother on that tree. It's got to go. That's firewood. Yeah, so this little spot in here, kind of a funny little place, but there's a lot of trees in here and they're not bad. 3 rafters have come from here so far, and we're not far away from getting the last 2 from here. That there is cherry. It's dead. Claim that one. There's another little side-by friend. All right, firewood. 2 beauty white oaks right there. With firewood beside it. They're nice and healthy though, we don't touch those. Took these 2 white oaks here, but they're firewood. See, they're rotten already. I was hoping for rafters, but I got firewood. That's okay. This is a cool white oak, but it's got a real hook to it. A nice healthy, but not at all straight hickories, shagbark hickories. The reason I came out here is because I was looking for my little plastic wedge. You know, so this one, that is a rafter white oak. So those are 2 very nice, beautiful logs in the making right there. Trees look, not bad. I think they'll last a while. Probably won't get to them for a bit, but I took 1. Oh, and I took this one here, and as you can see, a little bit ugly. That was only the bottom 4 feet were ugly, and after that it was okay. This is a white oak root burl. What do I do with that? Is this the kind of thing that I'm not aware of? It's something somebody out there is saying, oh my God, would I ever love to carve a bowl or something out of that? So leave some comments for me, because I don't really know much about that stuff, and I tend to undervalue it, but it might be a really neat piece of wood. That's white oak again. Okay, took this one here too. Look at the inside of that. Actually, there's the first 4 feet. See, solid on this end, but if you go all the way back here, it's ugly. So I got a rafter out of that, and the piece that was right there is now a rafter, and the piece above it might be a rafter. I'm just not sure if it's quite big enough at the one end, so that'll be probably the next video as soon as the weather gets nice. At the top of that white oak, so I'll just leave those sit there until probably next year, because it wasn't looking good, but it was still a little bit green, but I don't need firewood for this season. So I'll just let that sit there and I'll come grab it next winter, or if I get bored, I'll come out and drag it into a pile. Okay, so these ash are long dead. You know, that's a hanger. That's a, gotta be careful of that one. So in that case, I would probably, I'd probably cut it at the bottom here. It's not gonna go anywhere except for down there. It's not gonna hurt me if it falls. I would probably cut that off and it would probably stay where it is, and then I would hook the tractor up to it and probably pull it with chains that way until it falls onto the ground and then claim it. Anyway, these have been really nice logs. So they're dry and they are hard. This is the hardest ash tree I think I've ever come across. It is rock hard. The chainsaw just bounces off of it. So unfortunately, it's not the straightest thing, but I have got some short pieces out of it. And if I leave this inside for a week, it goes down to like 6% humidity. See, there's a nice section right there. I can get some, you know, something out of that right there. Yeah, there's firewood waiting to be claimed here. A couple pieces. And lots of dead stuff just kind of hanging around. Some of it's white oak, and I've taken a few of them, and it's beautiful hardwood, like these ones right here. Probably oak. So I could probably come up with a chainsaw and probably open that up, and it would be beautiful hardwood on the inside. Okay, there's another rafter. That was a nice tree. It was a bit misformed on its way up. It was on its way out, so. Look at that, that's a white oak. That's like a 30-inch white oak right there. That's a good, healthy tree, though. Same with that one. That was dead ash. Now that one right there, bet you if you put the chainsaw on that, it's powder on the inside. It would just disintegrate in your hands. Well, I am on my way out of the bush, and I'm going to end this vlog right now. This was completely unplanned. Very, very made up as I went along. But hey, you might find it interesting, and I didn't have anything else to put out for tomorrow. So thank you very much if you watched this far. I appreciate it. Sawmill shed is weather dependent. Take care.